Good evening, and welcome to our group presentation. My name is Tran, and I will be presenting on behalf of Rubatsiro Masaka, Nollaig Baker, and Chanda. Tonight's topic that we will be discussing is whether cities can be sustainable. We will look at both sides of the coin and touch on whether it is possible to create sustainable cities, or we're heading to a point of no return. We will firstly have a look at the argument against sustainability and the evidence to support this prospect. The statement of sustainable cities in itself is an oxymoron. Since cities are densely populated and rely on resources from their surroundings, they become unsustainable in nature. There are a number of environmental restrictions into why cities cannot become sustainable. It is impossible at our current growth for even our ecosystem to support population trends. Furthermore, the construction of new buildings to cater for high demand negatively impacts the environment by destabilizing the ecosystem through the environmental footprint of such developments. In addition, cities produce locally dangerous levels of pollutants that would otherwise be easily dissipated over a larger landmass. There is also a prevention of natural biogeochemical cycles, and many nutrient and chemicals are washed directly out to sea. This leads to a degradation of the agricultural soils that would be used to supply the city itself. The overall proximal environment does not allow for cities to become sustainable. There would be not near enough resources to maintain the population of today's size or growth. The increased infrastructure demand plus the high energy consumption has been linked to an increase in greenhouse gas emissions. This often results in poor air quality in crowded cities and also causes significant health-related conditions. To create cities that are sustainable, many experts would agree that it would require international agreement to achieve this feat. Cities are becoming more unsustainable due to short-term economic gain and the availability of global imports of goods. Trade allows ability to cheaply import goods from distant regions and lessens the need for local production. This causes local land, which would have been intended for agricultural and other sustainable resources, to become urbanized, allowing a greater concentration of cities and growth. For things to change, it would require government intervention on an international scale, but there's no current governing body that exists to enforce such drastic changes. In sustainable cities, all residents have superb quality of life, ensuring that their actions regarding social, economical, and environmental issues don't negatively impact future generations. However, the discussion above does not support this statement. It can be seen in figure on the left that an increase in global urban population, approximately 5 billion people will be city dwellers by 2030. The mismatch between job availability and the growing population often results in increased unemployment levels. This creates a poverty cycle, epitomized by growth income inequality causing social challenges such as high crime rates and drug abuse, making cities even more unsustainable. This results in an exponential growth of population beyond the city's ability to provide required services and infrastructure. For example, increased urban waste production tends to present disposal challenges. Moreover, emerging megacities present logistical challenges due to transport congestion. The ability to move both people and freight in such huge cities is often curtailed by inadequate infrastructure. Overall, it can be seen that there are a number of existing challenges which suggest that cities cannot be sustainable and will not be sustainable in the near future. We will now explore the foresight looking at city sustainability. Sustainability is a process of development that minimizes environmental resources. It reduces environmental impacts by creation of economic and social value. Cities can be made sustainable by reducing the city's use of natural resources and waste production, whilst improving livability for better fitting within the local, regional, and global ecosystems. An option could be adopting the extended metabolism model for the city discussion below. Metabolism is a biological system of comparing the resource input and the waste output of a current settlement. The physical and biological processes of the converting resource into a usable products and waste are compared to the human body's metabolic processes, or that of an ecosystem. They are based on the laws of thermodynamics, which show that inputs into systems must pass through the amount of waste depending on the amount of resources required. A balance sheet of inputs and outputs can be created. Industries can use this model to examine inputs of their resources and outputs of waste while measuring economic parameters, workers' health, and safety. Data can be used to examine mutual solutions such as recycling of cities' waste as an important resource substitute for an adjacent industry, such as waste to clean energy products. This leads to increased energy savings and efficiency and deployment of renewable energy resources. Phoenix Energy recently secured Australia's first long-term waste supply agreement to process municipal solid waste for the recovery of energy and other resources. Urban demonstration projects can be assessed from sustainability using this model, as exemplified by Chanda. The model can be used as an assessment tool to achieve a reduction in resources while improving livability. It provides a framework for guiding cities into the future by creating sustainable, resource-efficient cities. It is projected that the world's cities will pass 65 million inhabitants a year between now and 2025. Leaders must address the resulting demand for infrastructure and determine urban sustainability in emissions, waste products, and water use. Sustainable development seeks to ensure long-term human and ecological well-being. Local governments can integrate urban planning with the principles and practices of sustainability through collaboration with local communities, business leaders, and developers. Forward-thinking cities such as Washington, New York, Vancouver, Curitiba, and Guangzhou are applying these principles, hence leading in urban sustainability. These cities are prime examples of sustainability transformation with leadership, commitment, and effective long-term planning. Gertz, Raskin, and Rockstrom argue that changes in lifestyle and value, along with the organization's power for cosmopolitans, grow in a formidable pressure for change. Challenges for the future world economy and environment require city leaders to set the social and environmental agenda by embracing a vision for sustainability and developing a long-term approach in decision-making. Cities can be made sustainable. As we have seen, sustainability of cities is a tall order. It requires commitment from all levels of government, addressing past and present issues. And overall, it is unknown whether cities can be sustainable, and the only time will tell whether we'll be able to make the necessary decisions towards a sustainable future. This is Mark Tran presenting for Group 4, and that is our argument for whether cities can be sustainable. Thank you for listening.